from Seven Figure Expert Book. Welcome to the show, Noah. Dr. Noah.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Tell us about the new book, Seven Figure Expert, and who is it targeted at?
Well, you know what? I've been teaching people how to make money online for 26 years, since 1997. I've helped my clients add over $3 billion, meaning I've helped people add over, multiple six figures, seven figures, even eight figures, while actually working less. So that's what the book is all about. It's about how to make more and work less. Isn't that what we all want, right? I mean, I know there's a lot of gurus out there that talk about the hustle and the grind, the hustle bros, and you got to work 14, 16, 18 hours a day. If you're not working on Christmas Eve, then you're a loser. I'm like, are you nuts? I mean, I don't know about you, but I want a life, right? I don't want to live to work. I want my business to serve my life, not the other way around. So for the millions of people that agree with me, that feel the same way I do, that's who this book is for.
So would you say that is how this book is different from other books that cover similar topics?
Well, that's one of the ways that it's different. Yeah, I mean, I really talk about how you can work less and still make a lot more. Because if you think about it, building a business is like building a house. And what most entrepreneurs do is they get up every day and they say, man, I really need to get I need to get my house built. But they really don't have a plan. They don't have a system. And so they just start running around slapping boards together and they wonder why a house hasn't shown up. That's a lousy way to try to build a business or, build a house, build a life. And so really what I give you both in my books and in my coaching programs, whether it's one-on-one or group coaching, we really give you the three main elements that you need in order to, add that, reach that multiple six or seven figure or even eight figure level. And the three things that you need is the right plan, the right tools, and then you need the right support. And what I mean by that is if you don't have the right plan, you're going to have a lack of direction. You're really not going to know where to start or what to do every day. If you don't have the right tools, you're going to have a lack of focus. You're just going to be, again, running around trying to figure it out. And then if you don't have the right support from, whether it's a coach or a mentor, you're going to feel isolated and you're going to feel overwhelmed. And those are the three things that keep so many entrepreneurs stuck and hitting that income ceiling is the lack of direction, lack of focus, and that feeling of isolation, overwhelm. So that's really what the book and what, all my coaching and training is about, is fixing those three things.
What if somebody said to you, Noah, what can I do short term, say in 12 weeks? What can I do to improve? And what sort of improvements could I get and how would I get that improvement?
Yeah, one of the main ways that I've helped people add so much money, over $3 billion since 1997, is by focusing on two main areas. And that is your inner game and your outer game. Your inner game is everything that happens between your ears that you can't see directly, but it affects everything that you do. Like, for example, in my keynote presentations, when I do keynote speeches for companies or organizations around the world, whether it's live or virtual, I'll often say to my audience members, what's one area of your life where your beliefs don't affect you? And people go, and I go, exactly. There's no place your beliefs don't affect you. But here's the thing. You can't see a belief. You can only see the effects of a belief. But meanwhile, your beliefs affecting everything that you do. Also, what's interesting, and what a lot of people don't realize, is you can be doing really well in one area, but maybe you're stuck or struggling in another. For example, maybe your health is doing really well, but you're not making the money you want. Or conversely, maybe you're making a lot of money, but your health or your relationships are suffering. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of miserable millionaires out there. So that's what we don't want, right? Of course, we want to have the money, but we also want to have the health and the relationships and, the peace of mind that we really want, the freedom and fulfillment. So that's your inner game. But then we also have to have your outer game. And that's the offers, the funnels, the traffic, all of the blocking and tackling that we entrepreneurs have to do every day in order to make the thing called money. And I'll give you a quick example. I was speaking at an event in Los Angeles for about 1,000 entrepreneurs. These are 7- and 8-figure earners. I was speaking about, everything I'm talking about right now. I'll give my presentation. I was walking off the stage. A man came up to me and he said, Noah, I want to hire you as my coach. You're the coach I've been looking for. Now, I didn't know this man from Adam. Ironically, his name was Adam. And so I said, okay, what's going on? He said, Noah, my company, we're making 7 figures, but we have been stuck at the same level for the last 4 years, and we are not growing. And he said, I've hired all these gurus. I've spent all this money. He named all the gurus out there, all the marketing guys, and we're not growing. We keep hitting that income ceiling that you talked about. And as soon as I heard you speak about inner game and outer game and everything you just said, he said, I knew you were the coach I've been looking for. So he hired me to coach him one-on-one. I coached him for 18 months. In that 18 months, we got his company from being stuck for the previous 4 years to over 20 million in sales in less than 18 months. A 600% increase in less than 18 months. And how did I do it? I did it by helping him master his inner game. See, he's been spending all this money on his outer game, all that stuff that you need, and that got him to the 7-figure level, but it really did not allow him to scale up and really get that hockey stick growth that we talk about. So the point is, for everybody listening to the program, make sure that no matter what you do, you have to master your inner game and your outer game if you really want to get that hockey stick growth.
Absolutely. And as far as the inner game goes, you talk about the unconscious habits of highly successful people. What do you mean by that?
What I realized 26 years ago was that highly successful people are doing things unconsciously that they don't even know they're doing, and therefore they can never teach it to you. That's one of the reasons why people have spent so much money on all those gurus out there, and they're not necessarily saying anything wrong, but they're also not saying anything helpful. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're driving in your car and you're going to an unfamiliar place, someplace you've never been before. And you're trying to follow directions, but all of a sudden you're like, man, I don't know where I am. I'm lost. And you look at your phone and you realize that your GPS isn't working. You don't have service. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really lost. And so you see someone on the side of the road, you pull over, roll down your window and say, excuse me, can you tell me where I am? And they say, yeah, you're in a car. Okay, well, they didn't say anything wrong, but it also didn't help you at all. That's what a lot of the gurus are doing. They're not saying anything wrong, but it really doesn't help. And so what I realized many years ago was that highly successful people, I call them the naturals of success, are doing these habits unconsciously that they don't even realize that they're doing, and therefore they can never teach it to you. So that's what I call the power habits of unconsciously successful people. That's what a lot of my training is about. Like with Adam, that client I was just talking about, that's what I trained him on. And that's what have trained thousands of people on. And that's one of the reasons that I've helped my clients, add over $3 billion, because most people come to me after they've spent all this money on the gurus and they're like, how come I'm still stuck? How come I keep hitting that income ceiling? And I tell them, well, it's because of everything they left out.
Interesting. And on the flip side of the unconscious habits, you talk about head trash as being the number one reason people feel stuck. What is it and why is it keeping people stuck?
Right. So if you think about your goals, right? So for everyone listening to the program, think about your goals, right? And everybody talks about, you got to set your goals. We've heard this a million times. But what most people don't realize is there's actually 3 types of goals. There's being, doing, and having goals. Now, what I mean by that is you have goals of being. I want to be happy. I want to be healthy. I want to feel fulfilled. I want to have peace of mind, right? So those are goals of being. Then you have goals of doing. Well, I want to go on a trip to the Grand Canyon with my family. I want to visit Fiji. I want to take more vacations. I want to have this. I want to have more time, more money, whatever that is. And then you have the goals of having. I want to have more money. I want to have a new car. I want to have a better house. I want to have a nicer wardrobe, whatever that might be. Okay, so being, doing, and having, those are 3 types of goals. All right. So for those of you who are into goal setting, maybe 3 types of goals. Now that part is fine, but here's what most people don't realize is that when most people set goals, right, and probably everybody listening to this program has heard about goal setting, right, or even probably doing it, what happens that most people don't realize is that the very next thing that happens after most people set their goal is they go, yeah, but I probably can't do it, right? Well, like people say to me, no, I want to make more money in my business, but I can't do it because I don't have the time. Or I want to write a book or have online courses like you've got, but I don't have the money. I can't afford it. Or I want to do this, but my spouse won't let me, right? So everybody has these excuses, and the excuses fall under what I call your head trash. Your head trash is a voice in your head that says, I can't do it because ... And then you just fill in the blank. And what's fascinating is whatever comes after the word because is the very thing that's keeping you stuck. I'll give you an example. We have a program called the 12-Week Breakthrough where I help people make more in just 12 weeks than they did in the past 12 months while winning their lives back, winning back 1 to 3 hours per day and 4 to 8 weeks per year, right? So again, it's not just about money. It's more importantly, it's about also winning your life back. So I had one client, her name's Tamisa. She is an entrepreneur in Arizona, and she was making good money. She was making 6 figures, but she couldn't break through that income ceiling. And she was a self-described seminar junkie. That's her words, not mine. She was going to all these seminars, spending all this money. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. You're going to all these seminars and maybe learning a few things, but you just can't break through that income ceiling. And so she joined my 12-Week Breakthrough program. In the first 2 weeks, she tripled her investment. in 2 weeks, tripled her investment. And what's fascinating is we hadn't even gotten to the money part yet.
Yeah.
We hadn't even started talking about money. She already tripled her investment. Why? Because I showed her how to take out her head trash.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Particularly the people getting addicted to the seminars and training and not being able to actually convert it into anything substantial. So we've got to get over those excuses. And if you want to check out the book, sevenfigureexpertbook.com, that's where you'll find Noah's book. And you mentioned the 12-week breakthrough course. That is breakthroughwithnoah.com. So that's where you can check out all Noah's stuff. He's been doing this for a long time and helped a lot of people. Some very great stuff there. So thank you, Noah, for coming on.